Hey everybody, so we are going to be making some apple muffins today. And I am super excited about this because I love the feeling of having cinnamon and apples and just like the warmth texture of that. It is spring now, however, as I'm looking outside, it's snowing. So I want something warm and cozy and something that is going to be somewhat healthy for me, right? Okay, so what I did is I chopped up a couple of apples. I'm going to be utilizing another recipe later, so you can use more or less depending. So 2 sweet apples is really great to chop up really fine. And then I did 2 cups of quick oats. And so we're going to pour in the quick oats. We are going to pour in however many apples that you want. Probably not going to utilize all of this. Whoa, that piece wasn't even cut up. What the heck? What the heck is going on here? We're going to kind of blend that. Now I have to tell you guys about my obsession, and my obsession is with cinnamon. So I know with a lot of recipes they say, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Like 2 teaspoons, like that's it? No, I'm going to add in more. So you add in 2 teaspoons of cinnamon if you want. I like to add in about 4 teaspoons of cinnamon because I absolutely love it. So we're going to add in some cinnamon. Then I'm going to utilize the spoon I just did with our last recipe with the unsweetened applesauce, and we're going to do 4 tablespoons of unsweetened applesauce. It smells so bloody good. Oh my god. Definitely could just take a big bite out of that right now. Then we're going to mix this up. Mix that all up. And then we're going to add in some real sea salt. And I know in all my videos I talk about sea salt. And a lot of places are claiming sea salt, real sea salt, but it's been bleached. So I go to a health food store to make sure that my sea salt is authentically real. It's gray in texture, so I know it hasn't been bleached. This one you can get at some grocery stores that have organic aisles, and so the Redmond sea salt is probably one of my favorites. So I'll add in a dash of that, mix it up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add in some coconut sugar, and so we're going to do about 2 or 3 tablespoons. I know you guys are like, you're not measuring, Shannon. But I know for you A-type personalities out there, you need to measure. So 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar. We're going to mix that, and then we're going to add in some real organic maple syrup. And now there's 3 grades of maple syrup that you guys can get, and I know you probably didn't realize that. Now the darker it is, so very dark or dark, is the best because it's been sitting in the tree for the longest, so there's a lot more minerals in it. So a lot healthier for the body. And we're going to do 2 tablespoons of the real maple syrup. Blend that. And then we're going to add in some organic eggs. There we go. Before we add in the eggs, though, we're going to add in some baking powder. I get my baking powder from the health food store, too. I need to grab a spoon. Okay, got myself a spoon for the baking powder. So I do about 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Throw that in. And baking powder, baking soda, I tend to like to go organic as well. Let's mix that, and then we're going to add in 2 eggs. Now if you're doing a bigger batch, make sure that you add in more eggs. So 3 or 4. There we go. And then this one here. There we go. Mix this all together. And with these muffins, I'm going to add in a bit of protein powder again. I like to do that with my muffins just to give it a little bit, some extra protein in my diet. And again, as you guys know, I like my vegan protein powders. So I'm going to do a vanilla protein powder. Oops. A little more there. Come on. What's going on? There we go. Scoop of that. Mix it up. The consistency looks lovely. So now what we're gonna do, you guys, so this is the one before, so when we put the muffins in the muffin tin, this is what we're gonna utilize. Then when our muffins are in the tin, we're going to put on a topping. And so the topping that I like to do is another, it's almost like an apple crisp. So for that, I like to use the rolled oats. So this is the quick oats, this is the rolled oats. And I just like it because the oats are actually thicker. And so what I did is I put in a cup of the rolled oats in here, and then I put in a heaping teaspoon of the coconut oil in here as well. Mix that up. A tablespoon of the maple syrup, and then I did a dash of sea salt, and then I also did another 2 tablespoons of the coconut sugar. And so I mixed that all up and give it a nice consistency, which also reminds me that we have to do another teaspoon, 1 teaspoon in this recipe as well. So let's just, that might be a bit too much. There we go. Add that. And then the other thing that I have to add into the topping is cinnamon. So I got to add in boatload of cinnamon here. And you know what, you guys, I'm gonna do a little bit more cinnamon here. And this is all preference, what you guys prefer for your cinnamony taste. And then some people also really like to add in cloves. Some people like to add in some nutmeg, which the more I think about it is a really great idea. Let's add in some nutmeg. And we're gonna add in some vanilla. So I just do about half a teaspoon of vanilla. Now, if you don't have real vanilla, because it is expensive, if you don't do a lot of baking with it, I understand why you wouldn't want to purchase it, then vanilla extract, real vanilla extract is great. So just do a half teaspoon of that. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to put it in the muffin tins. Okay, so we have it in the muffin tins. So now what we're going to do is we are going to add in the topping to the muffins too. So they're going to be nice and crispy. And so I'm going to go lightly at first just to make sure I get all of the muffins. And then I will add the leftovers here. Unless I might need to make some more, because I typically utilize smaller muffin tins, and these ones here I made a lot more than expected. So just kind of go through all of them. Okay, so ended up having to mix up a bit more oats. So hindsight, I guess 2 cups of the oats with some maple syrup and a little bit of vanilla, and the coconut oil is so much better than the one, but you live and you learn, because usually I do much smaller recipes. However, it's Sunday and I like to bake a bunch more on Sundays so that I can freeze these. So when my niece and nephew come over, when people come over, then there's some treats in the oven, or treats in the freezer. Another thing too, you guys, if for the base, you do not want to use maple syrup, your other option is you can split it between the coconut sugar and using monk fruit. Monk fruit does not affect your insulin levels, so keeps your insulin levels nice and balanced as well, which is really great. And so I do love monk fruit. It has a really nice flavor, tastes like regular sugar, but it doesn't affect your insulin. So that's another option if you guys don't want to use the maple syrup in the base. There you guys. All right, so now we're going to place in the oven. Make sure your oven has been preheated to 350, and we're going to put them in the oven for 25 minutes. And here we go, straight out of the oven, our apple crisp muffins.